Hey y'all, this is Marley K. Hope y'all are well. Got a subject that I want to talk to you about today, and it is about how Black people, African American people, Black people all over the globe, we just act against our own interest all the time because we've been conditioned to basically act as double agents. We are, at every level in the world helping to implement this beast system. And so many of us who oppose it, we don't have any power, and that's by design. But also we are asleep at the wheel. Like, these people can't do this if we push back. But our community in particular is lured by free stuff. Like, we are addicted to free, low cost, subsidized help from the government. Anytime somebody says, "Oh, we're going to do this for you," instead of us saying, "Oh, wait a minute, if they're trying to give this to us, we need to flee because they don't give us anything, not anything that we want, anything anyway." When they give us something, it is for the benefit of the pilgrims or this system. And so, I heard about this. I've been keeping an eye on Jamaica for the last maybe 2 years because Jamaica has been one of these small Black pilot nations that has been used to implement CBDC, to institute, I think they were the first in the world to implement the digital identification. That's a part of the B system that I've been talking to you about. If you go back through my old videos, you will see that. And here they are talking about the digitalization of their society. And the thing that they like to hang their hat on is free, and it's for the benefit of the children, the future, for education. They know how to use the keywords and say all the things that we love to hear and see as a benefit or a help to self improvement, self empowerment, so on and so forth. So, this particular article is about the PM to announce digital transformation. And as you can see, all these, let me blow them up so you can see them real good. All these Black people, look at Mr. Charlie over there in the corner. He might not be a Mr. Charlie, but he looked like a Mr. Charlie. But look at all these Black people. All these Black people are setting up poor, naive Jamaicans to be a part of this beast system. And so they're doing this with the free Wi-Fi. And I told you what, that free Wi-Fi was about, what part of the was about, and how everything is coming together. It's coming together quickly, but they had these plans already, for the go. They just needed the crisis to roll them out. And as you can see, since the we have been bombarded with all sorts of things that are supposed to make life better for us, but all I see is us living in this dystopian society where we don't work, we have to wait on welfare benefits, we can't buy what we want, we live in these little cities with a bunch of poor people because everybody is the same. We don't own anything. We supposed to be happy, but we are not going to be happy. I can tell you that. If you're accustomed to freedom and liberty, if there is such a thing, how freely and we used to live is ending. And so what I see is our own people leading us into these traps. What I see is our people being used. And I did that video about all the Black faces in high places. This is, it could be a continuation of that, how they are being used to lay this beast infrastructure. And we are the targets. If you can't see this, all the nations where, the lost tribes of Israel are supposed to be, we're marked. If you can't see the markings, then I don't know what to say. You look at Nigeria, you look at Ethiopia, you look at Ghana, look at Jamaica, Barbados, Argentina, Brazil. Then you look at America, how, America is doing us, rolling out the free Wi-Fi, rolling out the free tech devices, allowing certain cities where Black people live to basically fall apart and fail so they can gentrify them for the next generation of grandfathers and unwanted, undesirables. So it's just interesting to me how we work as double agents against our own interests. So let me read this article to you. So this picture is the Prime Minister Andrew Holness points to the sign for free secured community Wi-Fi at Roden Crescent in Penwood, St. Andrew, West Central, at the launch of the service on May the 11th. He is joined from left to right, from left to right, by the with the principal of this high school, Omar Largi, Minister of Science, Energy and Technology, the Honorable Darrell Vaz, Custos of St. Andrew, Ian Forbes, Chief Executive Officer of Universal Service Fund. If you don't know anything about the Universal Service Fund, you need to look it up. Been talking about it a little bit, not a whole lot, but just look it up. Daniel Dawes, Counselor Caretaker, Molines Division, Glendon Salmon, and Commanding Officer, St. Andrew South Division, Superintendent of Police, Kirk Ricketts. So notice this picture, who's included. They got the police, they got the money people who are behind the scenes driving these policies and these new initiatives in communities, because remember I told you that all these new things are happening at the state and local level. So that's what you have to pay attention to. They have the science, energy, and tech people, because of course this tech system, science is part of the B system. And then the fact that they're focusing on high school students, it shows you, one, they're focusing on children, two, they're focusing on education, and three, this is the ploy. This is how they sell you. They're doing something good for you because they bring in the children. I believe the children are the future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. That's what's happening here. And so the beast knows how to get us. And he uses our own people. Our own people work for the beast system. So we can't ever be complacent and think that because somebody looks like us, they are for us, or they won't sell us down the road, because as you can see, all these people are working for the beast system. All right, let's get into this story. Kingston, Jamaica. The government will shortly be announcing additional steps to advance Jamaica's transition to a digital society. In the coming weeks and days, I will be making certain announcements regarding the acceleration of Jamaica's intention to become a fully digital society, said Prime Minister Andrew Holness. Now, why where the Black people got to be digital? Jamaica is a poor nation. They care about digitalization, but not ending poverty, not fixing what's wrong. Then they can't really fix it because they still are under the foot of massa. So how you gonna have a society and make it digital and it's gonna help the people, you know, with poverty, with improving crime, with having better housing, having resources that they need in their community to empower them so they don't have to rely on tourism. So anyway, he was speaking at the official commissioning service for 3 community Wi-Fi access points in St. Andrew, West Central at Andrews Muse Recreational Park on Thursday. Notice they put it in a park where a lot of people are going to use the park. Kids going to be there. and they're going to make sure you have your free tech. Holness said that the country is well on the way to making the transition. We have established the NIS, which is the National Identification System. We have put in place our digital currency. We have given directions to our ministries to digitalize their operations. Most of our ministries are now moving from paper based systems to digital systems. Our military is transitioning, as well as the Jamaica Constabulary Force, which I guess is the police force. The society is moving very quickly, very rapidly to become digital. Our banking consumers are seeing it as well because the banks are moving very rapidly to digital, he pointed out. For those of us who are skeptical, we are here to support you. Digital is the way. And so every Jamaican must become digital in their thinking, and that means you must have internet access. So you think you're going to be able to live in this society and participate in it and not have internet? You are crazy. And so, again, this is a pilot nation. It's a small nation with a large, poor black population, and so this is where they like to test these things out. Them W and the E and the F peoples. We have now started a program to have broadband access all around the country. So Jamaica is going to be the digital society, the Prime Minister said. The community Wi-Fi will serve Tower Avenue, Cockburn Pen, and Penwood. The U and the S and the F is the government agency mandated to ensure access to information and communications technology, ICT tools, to facilitate development. So remember, a while back, I talked about ICT in one of those little diagrams that came, I think, was from one of those either A21 or A40, one of those backdoor organizations that had like pictograms of what their plans were for cities and states, and then hopefully it will be national. So this is that lingo, same lingo, so you kind of know where this comes from. But in any event, I just wanted to share this with you to show how your own black people that you are voting for, you think you're voting for somebody because they're good, and they're black and they're going to help you. You think you're voting for somebody who is, concerned about the people and willing to go above and beyond to, do whatever it takes to help your people get out of poverty. These people are selling us under, they're throwing us under the bus. They're selling us down the river. They do not care about us. They're not going to help us. You cannot help us as long as this infrastructure or this system lives. And so what we have to do is try to figure out how to navigate it and work around it. And so I have a couple of ways that some things that I have been thinking about and I want to discuss, but I won't discuss them on YouTube because, of course, YouTube is the police, because it works with Google. So, pretty much everything that we use to communicate is the police. If you use Zoom, is owned by Microsoft. Who formed Microsoft? Like we just don't have, we are trapped. We are surrounded. Like there's no way for us to get around this. So short of meeting in some place in public, but in a private setting, and getting rid of your cell phones and making sure a room doesn't have tech in it, we are just, on borrowed time. They will know everything that we are planning to do, and which I don't necessarily have an issue with, but I just want to point out how difficult it is to free yourselves from technology when technology is involved in everything, even the platforms we use to discuss meetups and to discuss how we're going to navigate these things, they control. So it's not like they're not going to know what we're doing. They just know we are countering it, like we don't want it. So in any event, our people don't care anything about us. These people at the national level, at the state level, people in politics, whatever, like they are working for this beast system. They are part of the agenda. So when it talks about how all the nations will give their power over to the beast, like you can see it happening because have all signed up to digitalize their nations and force their societies. Did you see, the language? All Jamaicans must use the system. You must have a digital ID or you can't participate in society. You can't pay your taxes. You can't buy food. You can't get your public benefits. You can't get food. You won't be able to feed your children here. And it's coming to America. You can think it's not, but like I said, they use these smaller populations and force people who are poor and don't have any say into these systems, and then they roll them out to the masses and they'll be like, oh, it was successful. Yeah, it was successful because you told people you wasn't going to give them their food stamps if they didn't sign up. Yeah, it's successful because if you didn't have a digital ID, you could not buy gas, you couldn't pay your taxes on your property, and then the government takes it, and then you don't have any place to live. You don't have a digital ID, so you can't access your health care benefits. So then you can't go to the pharmacy and get your medication. So they've tied it to all these different things so that you can't turn it down. And so this is not necessarily the bad part. It is just the gateway to when they tell you have to worship this way or, renounce your religion and come back under this particular religion or you get your head chopped off. That's where we're going. So see how it be your own people that's leading you to the beast system. And so everything it talks about in Revelations, I can easily see how it is happening. I can see Daniel happening. I can see Matthew's happening. I can see how families are going to be fighting each other. I can see how our neighbors are going to betray us. I can see how, you know, we're not going to be able to participate in this system. And so, I just want you to look at the fact that how many Black people are participating at all levels, all over the globe. It's just not here in America. It's everywhere. So it's raccoons, so many raccoons among us. It's not even funny. At this rate, people who are remaining in power and are Black and they see what's happening and they're silent about it. They're a raccoon. I don't care how cool they are. I don't care what they did for your community. You can't stay in this system and say you're not a part of the system. You have to be a part of it. They don't allow you to not be a part of it. So just be aware. Our people are selling us down the road. This digitalization is rolling out. Jamaica is the first in the world to do a lot of these things with the CBC, the National Identification System. And again, it's a tiny place, so it's easy to do. They have a high poverty rate. So it's easy to force people to do these things. But when it comes here is what we need to worry about. And it's coming, it's close. It's very close to us. So what we need to do is just keep watch. We need to pray. We need to repent, seek the Most High for His guidance, ask Him what He would have us do, and ask Him, to continue to wake up our people because our people are just like comatose. It's crazy. And we don't say anything because we feel like because we're poor and we need things, we don't have a right to speak out or say whatever it is that we need. Speak up. Say what you need to say. Wake people up. And even if they don't wake up, you speak up for yourselves because these people in power are not going to speak up for us. They don't work for us. They work for the system. They work for them folks over there in Switzerland. They work for the devil. Their pappy is the devil. So when you see people who look like you and they got a black face in a high place, don't think they're your friend. Don't think you can ask them for anything. Don't think they're going to do nothing for you. They are not. All right, please like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. I will put a link to this story in the description. Also, sign up for my Odyssey and Rumble pages in the event that this channel is taken down because of the type of content we discuss here. Please do not be afraid because fear is a low vibrational activity, and the enemy needs us to be on low vibrations and fearful so that they can control and manipulate us. So continue to pray, continue to prep, continue to figure out how you're going to navigate life without digitalizing because it's going to be a requirement. And if you can't, then figure out how long you're going to ride until you get off. All right, this is Marley K, and I am out.